Booze and the Beast podcast.
MotaVated in the house.
Hey, let's go. How do I say it?
MotaVated.
Vated?
Vated. Like motivated?
MotaVated.
Vated. V-A-T-E-D. Vated.
Okay. I'm making sure I'm saying it right.
Yeah. The whole point of that is like mota is like weed in Spanish. So when I say like MotaVated, it like speaks to like the Latino community of like, oh yeah, mota, like, for sure. And when people call me mota like in person, it's a little weird. It's like calling somebody weed.
Oh yeah, that's what it means, right?
Literally, it's like the slang for it.
That's so cool though.
Yeah, so MotaVated is like weed motivated.
Yay, we're starting. Welcome to the Booze and the Bees. I'm Ella, and I'm here at Cafe Passe in Tucson, Arizona. Shout out to them for letting us use this space last minute. Really cool, really cute, such a vibe. And I'm here today with Mia, aka MotaVated.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
And we're here to talk cannabis and positivity and all sorts of topics. So
Definitely.
Thank you for joining me.
Totally. I'm stoked. This is so cute.
Right.
And I'm going to be rolling while we talk using my one and only flower mill.
Shout out.
The best not grinder on the market.
Yes.
And some wonderful flower from the homies.
I can't wait. What was the strain name again?
Fruit Stripes.
Fruit Stripes.
Yeah.
This smells really good.
I opened the jar and the whole room was like, doof.
For real.
That's usually what happens.
Such magical smell.
It's like they smell me coming. Nice.
I love it. And we have our drinks.
Yes.
We're ready.
We'll do a little cheers.
Oh, cheers. Cute. And
So you want it over here?
Hey, you're part of the recording now.
nice.
For
Yeah.
sure. I got you.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Also a restaurant professional.
Yeah, we got some food, you guys. Oh my gosh.
Any
I
hot
love
sauce?
it.
We're good.
Hot sauce.
Yeah, thank
Can
you.
please get B-roll of my phone of the food? Yes. Very excited. We're going to be rolling up and talking cannabis. So let's do like quick introductions. So we were
Yeah.
just talking about how you were originally from California.
Yeah, so I am born and raised. I'm actually fourth generation out of East LA. And my mom and I moved to Arizona / Tucson when I was like in middle school, high school. So I kind of, when you spend a lot of time in other places, you're basically from there too.
Right.
But I'll always claim LA.
LA, baby, yes.
Yeah.
And then you were in Tucson, and then you said you went through middle school and high school here.
Yeah.
And then you decided to go to Chicago.
Yeah.
For a few
So
years.
when I turned 18, I was like, man, I need like a culture shock. Like I want to go somewhere where I don't know anybody, I've never been. Like give me something that will really help me develop as a person, just because I've always been a very ambitious, like I know that I need to do more because I just want more kind of person. I graduated high school super young. I skipped a lot of grades like in elementary area. Like I've just always been on it.
That's rare to find.
That's
awesome.
super. And I'm an only child too, so it's always just like, why not? Like,
May I ask your star sign?
I'm a Libra.
Libra.
Yeah.
I love Libras.
Yeah, I am a Libra. I don't know. I feel like I encompass a Libra pretty well. Like I'm definitely like, I like to understand people, make people feel comfortable, and like I tend to like,
I get that.
I don't reflect people's energy directly, but more try and neutralize them, which is totally a thing.
Cool. Oh,
Yeah.
I never noticed that. Interesting. I don't know too much about Libras, but my cat's a Libra. And then
Hey, shout out to your cat.
Hamilton, shout out.
Hamilton.
And then my grandpa, who raised me, love him. He is also a Libra.
Shout out to Gramps.
I know y'all got good vibes, and I picked up that right when we met.
Hell
We
yeah.
met, by the way. We met at Stellar Lounge, right? The first time.
We met while I was working with Isaac, who owns and runs Stellar, and we were rolling for the yoga people.
Oh,
At
I met you at the
forget
yoga event?
Yeah, I was there helping him roll.
I
and
didn't see
educate.
Isaac roll. I didn't see any of that.
I saw you walking around.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw the
you
camera.
saw me, but
Yeah.
I didn't see you.
I'm,
Cute.
I'm always on it. Like when I see a new face and people who
Aw.
like, like you said, the vibe. You can always tell people who are just there for the show or there to work and shit. We working.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Always working, always recording, trying to get the vibe, trying to bring the good vibes. So,
Try to get that on audio.
hey, nice ASMR.
Yeah.
ASMR. Who? I can't wait to dig into this food
Oh, yeah,
too.
let's do it.
It's gonna be interesting.
Do you normally eat on camera? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna get into it. This is like mukbang. I don't want to move your stuff
No,
around.
go for it. Move around. I'm more interested in the weed than the food, TBH. So I'm gonna work on that first.
Yeah, both are great. Together, even better.
Yes, the combination of a century.
All right, so we were getting to, you went to Chicago for a few years.
Oh yeah, so I lived in Chicago for a while, and then during my time there, I mostly worked in restaurants, which is, I mean, I graduated high school, yeah, but I don't have a college degree, and the one thing I can do is work. So I started as a busser at like a Korean restaurant, and then I worked all my way up. I've done. Sorry, I'm burping my coffee.
You're good.
I started working as a busser just because like it was my way into a restaurant, and also really what led me to it is like we gotta eat, and restaurants feed you when you work for them. So I worked at restaurants so I could eat.
Smart.
And I was good at it because I can move fast. I understand. I speak Spanish. Like most people in kitchens are all Spanish speaking.
Okay.
And being a female too, hospitality is just kind of like the area we tend to go. I know, nug you down. Thank you.
I got you.
You gotta blow on it.
Oh yeah. Oh, 5 second rule. We're good. We're good.
But yeah, so I lived in Chicago. Restaurants were my thing. I worked all the way up to a 3 Michelin star restaurant, which kind of was like a really big like inspiring point for me, because people who get to that level in the culinary world, it's very serious. Like,
Can you explain a little bit? 3 Michelin is kind of like how would you explain what that is?
it's so there's 1, 2, and 3, and there's Michelin stars and Michelin bibs, and
Oh.
there's also the James Beard Award. So it's just kind of it's like the
Okay.
Grammys and the Emmys for restaurants,
Cool.
if you will.
Okay.
So I've participated and worked many restaurant weeks, and many chef inspired this and that, and I've always just kind of been inspired by people being great. And like being around greatness is like something that you don't just see. Like you don't get to be behind the scenes when they're filming like whatever your favorite thing is, you
Right.
know? And for me, like I put myself in the room of things that inspired me, and I worked my ass off to be just like them.
That's so
like,
inspiring. I
Yeah.
love that.
And I'm a super competitive person. Like in high school, I was a wrestler. I'm a 2-time state champion.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wrestler.
Yeah. Female, and like frequently had male opponents, but when it came to wrestling other females, it was like a piece of cake.
Nice.
Like it was
So dope.
It was very fulfilling, but also like
Very
damn.
different. We
Yeah.
didn't have wrestling in
I was
any of the
also a
schools I was at.
cheerleader, because I wanted to
Okay.
have fun, and all my friends were cheerleaders, so why not be right there with them?
Were you a flyer or
No,
were
I
you-
was a base.
Like
I
base, yeah.
threw people around.
I was a flyer.
I could probably throw you around. Let's go outside, hit some little.
Well, that would be a podcast.
That'd be fun. Maybe in a spot.
Next time, y'all. Next
I
time.
have some friends who are actually professional coaches and who have won and competed and won worlds competitions.
Whoa.
Yeah, so like just general competitive, athletic, super overachiever, like ambitious through everything that I've ever done. I think I placed 12th in partner stunting at cheer camp,
Cool.
which is like when it's just 2 people, and like you start with them on the floor and you do a little routine, throwing them up and down and around and whatever it is, you know. But I did that, and I don't know. I think that's definitely like all these different experiences that I've gathered throughout my regular life. Like we all go through it, right? Like we all
Right.
try different things. Like I've always just been very like be the best or don't do it at all kind of thing. And like if you're gonna do something, have fun and like make it look cool or something, right?
That's all that matters. As long as you look cool. No, I'm just kidding. See that? I love that. I was very different in high school. You sound very athletic and like a leader, and I love that. I love hearing that. I was very. I made friends with everybody in school, but I was very much choir, theater nerd. and-
Which I was friends with those orc dorks too, you know.
The what? What'd you?
Wasn't orchestra people, the orc dorks.
Oh. I was like, what'd you call us? No.
Oh, that's funny.
Orc dorks. That's
Orc
funny.
dorks. That was the orchestra kids.
Orchestra. Yeah, that's funny. I was in band for a little bit, but I played the keyboard.
Hey,
so
you
that's
getting
cool.
down.
Yeah.
You gotta do like the Elmo, the dun 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 dun. What's the vampire's name on Elmo?
Oh, the Count Dracula.
Count Dracula.
Yeah. A one. A two. No.
Ella and the Boo. I got you.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Yes. So, yeah, I love hearing about that. Okay, so what were you? So in Chicago, you were mostly working at the restaurant.
So I worked at a 3 Michelin, and I worked there for a decent amount of time. Long story short, I quit that abruptly and got a corporate job because my life was like falling apart. With a 3 Michelin star restaurant, it's very demanding. So I got a corporate job, and I was working for Grubhub as like a senior tech specialist.
Okay.
I basically went from I had a cubicle, and I answered many angry phone calls and sent many.
You've lived so many lives already. Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
I have great email etiquette, and I can sound good on the phone if I want to.
Nice. That's a skill. That's a good skill.
No, for sure. And like I never even thought about it like that. Like I didn't realize how it was grooming me until I was like, fuck this. Because like you lose yourself. Like you lose yourself when you have to follow so many rules, and like when there's books of policy that you just have to repeat over the phone. Like
I relate to that, yeah, because I was telling you earlier that I was a medical assistant, and so I was working for a neurologist, and it was so weird being in an environment where my skills I was really good with my job, but then to have someone tell me like, oh, you can't be wearing that shirt.
Yeah.
And so now I'm stressing about like my clothes and just like not even like I totally understand. Just the weird policies that you just want to be yourself as long as you're doing your skills and really doing work and helping people.
Right.
Which I loved doing.
Right.
There's also a whole other side of that I hated about the medical
for sure
part, seeing people not have insurance so they can't get their medications.
I mean, you're the face of that too, and like it was really hard, but also it definitely groomed me in more of a like understanding who you work for and really being willing to stand behind them, because like when you're the voice on the phone or when you're the smiling face having to be like, oh, I'm sorry, you owe us X amount of money, or what you expected isn't what you're getting, or like there were so many cases. Like I did really well at that job. I got many promotions, and I was on a de-escalation team at a certain point.
De-escalation
So like
team?
when you call the 1-800 number and you have your problem, and they transfer, and then finally you're like, hey, can I talk to a manager? Transfer again, not to a manager, but to a de-escalation agent.
Oh my gosh.
To try and save whatever it is that you're
oh, that sounds so stressful.
The hospitality side, the super well trained to be nice, it all kind of really set me up for success, because like in real life I'm me, like I'm a person, I think I'm funny, I'm kind of an asshole, like like all of the things. So like just having that background and being like, oh, sorry, forgot, but knowing how to, like, I would have never had any opportunity to teach me that, because like I didn't go to college, like I went to public school, like I'm an only child, single parent, like nobody was like grooming me in the way that a job did, if that makes sense.
That does make sense. Yeah, I grew up military brat, so I was
different
different vibe. Yeah, I mean, it was mostly chill, but he definitely gave me good structure for being able to fit in any kind of job environment. Because I did the food jobs too. I worked at many food jobs back in the day.
You have to, right? You got to do what you got to do. All right, I'm gonna be in my lap. Does this work? Do you think with the mic?
Do you think that'll maybe just talk a little louder? Maybe.
All right.
Yeah, but all the food industries, having to know all the different rules and just being able to just take discipline. It's a really good tool. It's not really tool. Skill to have. Yeah, skill.
Yeah. And I think too, like it reminds you like what people are really like being human, like we don't always have good days and stuff like that, like, and there are like when you just have to learn how to manage those situations, like you just get better at it, and then it helps teach you like how to be a good person in return. Like once you've received so much negative or just so many things that you necessarily wouldn't want to portray on somebody else, it helps you just gain the skill to readjust that energy and come different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that because I live stream, so online and stuff how harsh people can be, and all the negativity that I receive, and it's helped me realize like I bring the light just being myself and being positive,
right?
And knowing not to put people down for any specific trait or
Yeah.
how they look and how they speak. And even sometimes I'll have someone in my chat and they'll come across as they're being like negative or an asshole or something. And I'll give them the opportunity to really be like, okay, no, come on, we're cool.
Like, you
Like,
don't have
could
to be
cool.
like that.
You don't have to, yeah. And
Yeah.
sometimes they'll turn around. Sometimes they won't. Then you have to push the mute button. But
Yeah.
that's also the beauty of online. You
Right.
control what you see for the most part. But
Yeah. But definitely, like, going through all of that, it really emphasized just being happy, like,
Yeah.
at the core of it all and everything that you do. Because I worked this incredibly grueling restaurant environment, and then I was like, all right, I need something really regular. I'm gonna go get this 9 to 5 corporate job. And then I was like stripped of my soul, or I was like, who am I even? Like, do I even want to be this person telling all these people this information? Like, what does money even mean? Like, I'm making good money here, but like, I hate, like, I was drinking on the job. I was doing all kinds of shit. Like,
that's good you had that come to realization.
No,
it's hard
totally.
to find because some people get stuck in the
Totally. And it was becoming really destructive.
Cycle.
Like, in the restaurant world, there's hard drugs all over the place. And it's like, do you want to do that and get stuck in this chain? Which, not to say that I didn't, but like, I learned that I didn't want to be doing that.
forever.
Yeah. And then it wasn't okay. Like, you shouldn't have to mask your feelings or put yourself through these things just to go to work to get through it. And I really just started looking around at everybody and being like, yo, nobody's happy. Like, nobody that I'm around and everything that I do, nobody's enjoying themselves. It's all just for a paycheck. And then it was like, what do we even care about this paycheck for? Like, they say, like, money is the root of all evil. So, like, what are we doing here, people? Like, it was really a thing. So where I quit my job and I was like, fuck you guys, I'm out.
Okay.
I drained my 401k. I put all my I liquidated everything that I had, and I followed up on an opportunity to go work on a farm in Oregon.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that. Okay, so Chicago to Oregon.
Kind of. It was a little like, you know, the ups
Little
and downs of
in-betweens.
all the things, totally. But a little backstory, we restarted, whatever. I come from a family of cannabis professionals, both free market and white market, and most of my life I've grown up watching my family professionally work in the industry in California while it was medical. So I have like 3 different uncles who are considered master growers at this point because of how long they've been doing it.
Cool.
And I remember just as a kid looking at them being like, oh shit, you're doing that, Like, let me go smoke with you. Like, and they would. And like, I really got introduced to the life at a very high scale way before I even knew what I was looking at. Like, all these different brands like Sea Junkie, Genetics, fucking Jungle Boys, Cookies, Exotics, like all of these things. I was smoking their first runs like 6-7 years ago, just with my uncle hanging out, because that's what he was also trying to make it in the industry, trying to make a name for himself, trying to get contracted as something.
I couldn't imagine trying all that back then.
Yeah, which I mean, he's found success now, like, because he's worked really hard for it. I'm trying to roll this joint and talking. Phew, I'm all excited.
I know.
I know it's loud too.
Flip it on, it might be easier.
Can you help me?
Yeah, I'll help you.
Yeah, totally. So basically, I had been kind of manifesting it like, hey, I'm really unhappy with my job. I like really don't know what to do. Like, I've always really wanted to go like just spend time in those rooms. I've always really just put it in my hands, you know? And finally, they were like, yo, if you really want to come, we need help. Be here in 2 weeks. And
perfect.
we'll get you work. And it was as simple as okay, and like the rest of my life just kind of lined up. And so I went. That was right when COVID happened, so the whole world was shut down. So I bought a truck, my first car. Like, I bought a pickup truck, and I loaded up my pickup truck, and I drove all the way up to Oregon.
Oh my gosh.
And I showed up, and I basically learned a whole fucking lot very fucking fast.
Oh yeah.
I can't really say too much about like locations and things like that.
Top secret.
Yeah. But learning in that way is something that not many people get to do. And it really, like, I fell in love with the plant in the most like organic, wholesome way. like outdoor organic in the Emerald Triangle in Oregon, like on this huge commercial scale, but like nobody knew what we were doing.
Wow.
Like
It's like a movie.
yeah, and it was all family. Like literally, I'd wake up with the sun, go take care of the plants until we were done for the day with whatever the task was, and then spend all night trimming, like until I couldn't sit or stand anymore, until my ass went numb, kind of thing. And then I went to my tent, slept, and waited for the sun. And like that was my life until it started snowing and we couldn't grow anymore. But also with that came a really hard lesson of what the industry is really like, because I left Oregon with no money. All of that work that I did, we didn't like. We're not running in the legal market. We're not feeding a dispensary. We're not doing that. So like all of the work that I did, have fun, kid. Go find a job now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it was like another moment of like, what does money matter? Like when
'Cause you were still
I was
happy.
so happy. Like I was loving every second of it. And like, yeah, it was hard. Like all things great are hard at some point, you know? And for me, it was just like, no, I have to keep going. Like I quit my whole life to do this at this point. So like, I know what I want to do. Like I want to be happy and I want to be with this plant. So I just kept running with it. Came back to Arizona and I applied on Indeed to be a bud tender. I got a job at Curaleaf. And I worked at a dispensary that was Bloom and then became Curaleaf.
I remember Bloom.
Yeah. I worked there, and really I spent my time there researching the market and seeing what are these patients like? Who is the recreational customer? What do people shop for? Like I have pounds on pounds on pounds sitting over there, but I can't talk about that. But they're coming over here buying $10 grams, or like this really just like this product.
I feel foolish. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but
I'm just kidding.
there's angles to
I
it,
get it,
right?
yeah.
Like weed's been around forever. Like this shit's like pre-Bible. Like Jesus was probably chiefing, like calling him Mother Nature. Like it
I
is.
love hearing that because I don't know. I'm new to cannabis world. Like I've only been smoking for about 2.5 years now.
Okay.
And of course, when I started, I wasn't like, oh, let me look up the plant. And I was just getting high. I was smoking blunt after blunt. And, finally, I'm at a point where I want to learn and actually like know what's my favorite strain. And like this weed is better than this weed for this reason. And
That's cool. I consider that I've smoked my way through the world.
yeah,
Because I've smoked with people who I would have never thought would be down. Like, and it's one of those things just like, hey, you want to go for a walk? Or like, hey, I'm a really good roller, you want to see? And like it just opens conversations in a way like they say like food brings people together, but weed brings people together in a different
way.
way.
Yeah, it
And
really does.
It's really cool because like even in high school, like weed brings friends, right? Like the guy who has it, everybody's kicking it with them, or like something like that, you know?
I was a good kid. Remember, a military brat. So.
No, my friends had it. We were chilling.
Totally different. Yeah.
Like if you wanted weed, you were gonna come hang out with us for the day.
When I smoked weed in high school, I would just be so anxious and like, oh my God, I'm gonna get caught. Like I didn't enjoy weed really back then. Not like now.
Yeah,
Way different experience.
I
now.
love it, and it's definitely something that, my passion is never like. I've been asked many, many times, like, are you gonna stop? Like, what will it take for you to stop? Because I've done a lot. Like, so Oregon was the big one, right? And that's really what flushed me in. Came back to be a bud tender, and my restaurant hospitality corporate end wasn't appreciated in the dispensary atmosphere because it wasn't fast. It wasn't quick
really?
sale. It was too much information, too much time. You're talking too much. We need them in and out the door. And I was just like, whoa, I don't do that. Like, I'm going to make sure this person's walking out laughing.
Right.
Like, we're not
experience.
right. And I didn't work there for very long. Let's say that. And after that, I went and I started working in a big greenhouse for True Leaf out in Wilcox, which is like an 1.5-hour drive towards Texas.
Okay.
And I worked there for a good chunk of time. And there's where I learned what it's really like to work a white market commercial greenhouse.
So, oh yeah, duh.
Yeah.
I was about to ask what white market is.
No, you're good. So there's a lot of different terms that I'd use a lot. I like to say free market instead of black market.
Okay.
Because it's just more reflective of what it's actually like. Like,
Yeah.
what is this white and black? It's more like free versus super legal world.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I consider myself to have started as a free market cultivator. There's also the gray area, which is sort of our caregivers, our soft licenses, our medical growers, people who aren't necessarily massively capitalizing on their efforts, is how I would kind of say it. And then there's the legal white market, which is all your dispensaries, all of your different groups, people who are licensed with the state to run commercial operations open to the public.
Okay.
So there's like scales to it.
So it sounds like you liked working in the grow houses more than the, like, in house, I don't know what you call it, but behind the register,
For sure.
talking and stuff.
And I feel like all of it has been very necessary, and I've been very purposeful with everything that I've done because, 10-year goal is to be the most well-rounded CEO there is. Like I want to have done everything, and like how they say, like, there's no task that a boss won't do. And I want to be able to say, like, I've done all of those tasks repeatedly in all these different situations, and I want to guide my efforts towards a really wholesome experience. If that, yeah.
Cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I'm not
totally
kinda
makes sense. I love that so much. It's unique for especially like CEO position, like you said, to really want to connect with the people and the consumers and all of that. Okay, I really want to get into the joint because you finished, and I was like, ooh. Oh, what got you into really wanting to roll joints? Good.
Yeah, so that really brings me back to my family. So like I mentioned, like a lot of my family, they're very very heady stoners, I guess I'll say, like super like with their pinky up, like won't smoke it if it like kind of people like only smokes greens or only takes the first Puffco hit or like doesn't even smoke out of a Puffco, like kind of people.
Interesting. Okay.
And basically whenever we hang out like fucking regular family shit, we'd all be hanging out smoking, and it's like, oh yeah, here you go, Unc, roll the joint. And he'd be like, yeah, I'll do it right now, I'm doing something else. And I'd be like, oh, let me roll the joint then, like the niece of the group. I'd be sitting there all shaky and fucking it up, and they'd be like, bro, what the fuck, like I got kicked out of the sesh so many times. Like they'd be like, girl, bye, like go sit down. And it's my family, and they roast me like they'd say like, oh, well, if we wanted to smoke we wouldn't invite you, but I guess you could roll since we don't really want to smoke, or like we're trying to do this today, yo, like what the fuck. And so really shame
that helps
shame,
you. You're like, okay,
I gotta get good. Yeah,
I'm gonna show you. I'll show
like
you right
I'm
now.
gonna get good. And then just watching, like my uncle literally no tip, as fat as he's a grower, he literally just pulls out the turkey bag and loads this shit in. And I would just watch him and be like, dude, how did you, like, no tray, just standing there, like not even looking at it, like going for it. And I'd be like admiring it, like, that's great, I want to be great, you're a great roller. And he'd be like, you just gotta roll. He always told me, he was like, you can't be rolling booth, that's why. Like talking shit about the weed that I was rolling, because he's very confident in what he grew also. So really being I'm not even ashamed, like being a dog, I don't even know what the right word is, like
kind of like just we like to call it gentle bullying. Just
I was being bullied.
Helps get you like on the right track, like all right, I see what I have to do.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do it now.
Family bullying. And then not wanting to shame the family.
Yeah. Bring honor.
Had to bring honor, so I had to get good. Is really what, go for it.
I love it. No, yeah, I can't roll a joint my best friend taught me how to roll a blunt, so I don't know if I would be in competitions, but I can't do this.
See, and then also like once you start growing, or once I started growing, I had a volume of products at my liberty, so I would just sit there and practice. When you're stressed or something, I feel like it's almost like a meditative process also, because like you can't hold it too hard, you can't be too soft, you have to be very thoughtful and intentional with everything that you do. It's just like being great. Like everything that you do matters, like down to the type of grinder that you use matters, the type of paper that you use matters, like
that's
everything.
how I'm trying to be more like, because I used to just not care, and I made a post actually kind of mentioning how I just wasn't getting that magical feeling that I know the plant can bring. And I have no ritual, like, because I don't roll and I just use the same bong and, I don't clean my grinder probably like I should. It's just like, I love that you, like said, put intention and all of that into it.
Definitely. And I mean, telling you, I fell in love with this plant, and I think that it carries a spirit. Like, it's a medicine, right? Like, it's not just this pill that's being popped out by the millions. Like, it's a plant that you literally drop a seed, or you put the seed and you're very intentional and you take great care of her because it's a female plant. Like, everything about it, it's just like, no matter how hard the day of work is, you look over and you see just like field of green and you're like, all right, we're good. Like, it's a plant,
Yeah, it's so beautiful being around the plants and stuff. Because, you and I have got to walk around a grow house together.
Yeah, we did.
And you got to show me all the ropes, which now it makes total sense. I was like, wow, you know so many details. I was like, you must have worked back here behind the scenes, and now I know why.
Well, yeah, so I went from Oregon to bud tending, and then I worked at a greenhouse for Truly, which is a giant MSO. The whole place was not good. I worked there for like a year and some change, and while I was there, I picked up my IPM kind of ropes, which is integrated pest management. So really talking about plant health, insects, and like good and bad ways to create the correct environment. In that facility, our efforts were entirely pointless because the roof was caving in. So like, doesn't matter what we're doing on the inside, it's never going to work out because the whole establishment isn't okay. But I got my IPM legs there, and it really kind of just put a larger lens on what commercial scale quality is really like, and how a lot of times there's a lot of problems that can happen throughout your grow process, like during your run, and there's mediations but also remedies and also band-aids that people use to try and better their product that don't always mean a better product. And it's just, there's a lot to it. Like, we spray pesticides, we spray herbicides, we spray all types of things during different processes, and they're directly meant to combat something that shouldn't be happening inside those rooms. Like, it's a whole thing. Like,
there's so much into it. Wow. I never thought about that too. People obviously trying to use workarounds or whatever for whatever reason.
I mean, if you half-ass it, you're gonna get a half-ass product, and then you can't sell a half-ass product.
And I'm sure, like, in time too, it comes out like, who really cares for their product and stuff.
Yeah, so I worked there as an IPM tech. That's like my leaving title. And then I turned around and started driving to Phoenix every day, which is an 1.5-hour drive from here. And I worked for High Grade as a cultivation lead. So I had a team of canopy techs, and we would kind of take care of the plants room by room under my guidance. And I had other, like, pretty good team, but like, that was my first like leadership role within a facility. And of course, the only female on the team, like the only person with real experience, not just in that one facility, and like really just kind of learned that I need to start flexing. Like, I need to start flexing all that I know and everything that I've done. And during that time, I also participated in a business certification course for cannabis. So technically, I have a business certificate specifically for cannabis, and I've created a mock company and like have done everything up to like pitch proposals for investors for it.
Whoa! Yeah. So that's your end goal, right? In all of this.
I feel like the end goal keeps changing.
Yeah,
and
of course,
growing,
I understand.
And like I get inspired and I meet new people and new things, and like everything for me in this industry has been very organic, and I haven't really had to force anything. So I feel like my end goal is really just to be happy.
Keep living. Yeah.
To be happy in everything that I'm doing and feel good about it at the end of the day, you know?
I definitely know.
For sure. Then I went from High Grade to working for an edible company in Tucson. So I went from commercial grows back to a commercial kitchen making edibles. Yeah, and I worked for them for a while, and then I got laid off by them. No fault of my own, to where it's now landed me as a flower ambassador for a new brand called Pheno.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's when I remember meeting you. I know
Yeah.
you met me before I met you, but yeah,
Yeah.
we met at Stellar Lounge and it was a whole Fino event, and then we got to tour Fino, which was really awesome,
Yeah.
and I got to try y'all's flower, the Doctor Who strain.
Oh
That one
yeah.
was good. That was good.
A
I can't
good
wait to try
indica
more
for sure. And
strains.
I just want to be that person that helps broaden people's knowledge, experience, and really just kind of create the bridge for people to understand that yes, it's an industry, but also like 98% of the people behind it, it's purely passion. Like in the cannabis industry, as I've learned, it's all self-funded, right? We're not federally backed, which means we're not federally banked. And all of the money that you're getting or that you make is coming directly from somebody's pocket, whether it's your boss or an investor or something like that. So we're not there for the money, like, and nobody like, and if you're there for the money, you're not happy. Like, and it's kind of like that back and forth thing. So where it's like, the cannabis industry is really fueled by passionate people. And it takes a lot of passionate people to really create something that reflects well to the market and then makes others happy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, that's my thing. Just be happy. Enjoy yourself.
Happy, please. It's like you're
Yeah.
smoking cannabis. How can you not be happy?
You'd be surprised.
Oh no, I know. I do get surprised. I'm just like, yo, chill out. Let's relax and enjoy the plant together, guys.
Right.
Like, yeah, but I'm sure it's just. I'm glad that you wanted to keep going. I'm glad after Oregon and stuff, you were like, "Oh, no money. But it just makes me so happy. I want to keep doing it.
Yeah.
That's so inspirational, and that's how I am right now with my content creating. It's
Love
been
it.
4 years now, you guys. And
Yeah.
haven't had that big moment, and as long as you're enjoying the ride, you don't really just wait around for it and
No.
like stress
And
about it.
you got to
as
create the
much.
opportunities too, like
Right.
nothing is just landed, like nothing just happens. Like I can't, the amount of unassigned work that I do, I guess you could say, or like the extra mile that I go through, like on top of my hourly job or like what I do for money or income and whatnot. Like
Right.
I also network a lot. Like I go to like every single cannabis event that I can physically make it to. Like I drive up to Phoenix like 3 times a week.
I know I just saw you
Yeah.
at an event I was going to ask you about. Yeah.
Which
I've
one?
never heard of that. The Meta one?
Oh yeah, so that's the Marijuana Industry Trade Association. So META is a monthly thing that happens every month, typically in Phoenix, and it's really an opportunity for brands to showcase themselves to the industry. It's typically free for FADA card holders, which is the facility agent or dispensary agent card holders.
Okay.
Which is a clearance card that we all need in order to work in the industry.
Oh.
So we're
so all the workers. That's cool.
we have a federal I think it's like a level 3 background clearance, and we're all fingerprint cleared.
Okay.
Yeah, so like it's not like, I know a lot of people say it's really hard to get into, and it definitely is, but really that's the thing that takes a lot of people, is you can't have any kind of background, and you have like, because they're giving you these things, like they're dropping it right into your hands, and like
Yeah.
some days I'm spent driving vehicles stuffed with product, and other times I'm driving around with lots of money before those products. Like it's kind of this realm of like we operating in the cannabis industry, which isn't entirely legal and is all cash for the most part. So you have to be clean, you have to be good to go, like they check.
Gotta be a good person.
Yeah. I mean, good person, I don't know. I'm kidding.
That's true. That's true. Right.
Sometimes-
Good person on paper.
Right. The man has to think you're good.
But yeah, I've noticed you go to a lot of events on your Instagram story.
Yeah, it's important. And like from the day that I started, like I want to see who's playing. Like it's a game, like I want to play too. Like they say it takes money to play, but how's this smile? Like, hey, I'm cute. Hire me.
Exactly. You gotta work with what you got.
Right.
Work with what you got.
I don't have the money, but I can find somebody with it. It's kind of just been like my thing is just like, I know what I want to do, and thus far it's been really like just being authentic and being truly behind myself the whole way through. Like I'm not just trying to get free product, like I'm not just trying to like be, I don't know, like on a poster for these people. Like I really want to drive a positive feeling behind the product.
I love that positivity. That's my
Yeah.
mantra for everything, for life, because I lived very negatively for a good portion of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we all have, right? Like we all go through things and we have to learn how to deal. Like it doesn't just happen. And it's like a coping skill, right? Like I've also read like a million self-help books and like I've gone through therapy and like I've done all
I
those
feel
things.
same.
Like self-help, mental health is real.
Oh.
And like learning what your sweet spot is and finding your own equilibrium and like figuring out what it is that you really need to like be your best self.
yeah.
That's it. For me, join in the morning, join at lunch, and join at night.
Heck yeah, it does. It definitely helps. Mental health, for sure. That was my biggest thing that I noticed when I started smoking. Was like, oh, you're helping with this anxiety feeling and overthinking. You're helping me not think
Yeah.
about it. Like
Or
this
like
is
sleeping and eating, like something so simple. Like
Right.
right now I'm not hungry at all, and it's 12:45. I haven't smoked yet.
exactly
Yeah.
right. We're gonna be like so hungry after the after party.
I
You
know.
have to stay tuned for that.
For sure.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm almost all right.
Yeah.
We're almost ready for
Yeah,
it.
we're good.
Yeah, I feel like we should. I'm
We're
ready to
good.
smoke.
All right.
Let's go.
Cool.
Thank y'all for thanks for
Yeah. Did you want to talk about anything else while we're sitting in
doing
here?
this for me. I mean, we could talk forever.
I know we
right?
could. Or did you think there's something that we should?
No, I think also we could do multiple episodes, different places.
Yeah.
We could. Yeah.
There's no reason to get everything in a 5 hour.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure.
Our episodes are only like 30 minutes right now.
30 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, and I kind of just blabbered about my whole process. And
I loved it.
Yeah.
No, it was
I'm
great.
trying to think of a good title that fits with like the, how to succeed in the industry or life or overcoming hardships.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
think of a good catchy title.
like finding motivation.
Yeah.
I love that. Cute. Yeah, that should be it.
Literally, and like the whole
Motivation in the cannabis realm.
or
Yeah.
stay motivated is what I tell everybody. Yeah, and just like stay on it. Like remember what you really want, and like remember what makes you feel good. Like if you enjoy doing something, then keep fucking doing it. Fuck what other people say. Yeah, it might be hard, but like if you have a good feeling, chase that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Something we tell a lot of people is like the hard thing tends to work and time always marches on.
Like they can't hear you, baby. I love it. Oh, I also want to pose too for our thumbnail. Just like
Okay, close to your feet and then I'm gonna put the off button. Actually, I gotta get the color checker.
you just pose real fast, like smile at
sorry,
the
I'm
camera.
just packing in
You're
my
good.
thing.
Okay,
I
nice.
feel like that was a little weird.
Like
Let's do it again.
Okay.
There it is.
Nice.
Okay, I'm all like posture, I'm like, I'm not sticking my
I know,
boobs out, but like,
I was comfortable because I kept just slouching.
I
I'm just
know.
listening to you.
what's this?
It's a
It's a color checker so it can get accurate color readings and light readings.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that way, whatever scene you go into, because the walls are different colors, so that light bouncing is actually the wrong color. So like this is 5500, but it might not be 5500. So
Okay.
we just do this to get a baseline, then it can throw whatever grade I'm going to draw on.